What up, fam? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being patient. I am back after a little bit of a hiatus. Real work got in the way, but I am back. I actually did record an entire video on a lot of what I'm about to cover, but I took it down because it got outdated within the week and a half that I took off. So I do thank all the people in the Discord who were bugging me to make another one a little bit more in depth about the docs. I appreciate that. For those who have subscribed, I apologize, but thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And again, if you do like this content, please like and please subscribe and please share and do all the things. I appreciate it. So I was poking around and I did find one article on Medium that I wanted to share. I'll drop it in the link for folks who have a Medium account. You can take a peek at it. This came from September from Jonah, and I just wanted to go through a couple of things here because I thought this was pretty visionary, and I think it's really cool to take a moment and reflect on where Jonas came from, the origin, what led him here, what his vision was, and where we are now. And it's pretty amazing to see a little bit about him, what he's talked about on AMAs, but also where Realm came from, the idea of Realm and the vision for it around growth and community and real world value and some of the gameplay metrics that are starting to come to fruition. Looking at one thing that I thought was really neat was just kind of been hinted at already was this inter-realm play about having the idea of you're another player in their city, in their realm, being either a partner and helping to build or potentially a foe. So friend or foe play is pretty neat idea, and I think I can kind of see that come into fruition hopefully sooner rather than later. Then that could in turn lead to some of the battles we've been talking about or hearing about. The other thing I thought was I chuckled at what's the end game. I just really don't think there is one. I mean, this community's kind of grasped on so strongly that, and there's so much vision, and this could be so expansive that I just don't think there potentially could be an end game unless you just decided to stop playing, especially if down here, long-term vision, providing real-world value. I mean, that's just one thing to think about. If there's real-world value and we're able to stake and take some of our stuff to the marketplace and sell that and continuously play and P2E, then I just don't see a reason to stop. But there might not be an end game in that, or if you lose your realm, something like that maybe could be introduced. So I think that's pretty cool. And then the last piece that I thought was cool, and please do read this article all the way through because I think this really helps set some foundation, is just building the build, right? Building a platform, building a thing that the community can build on. And I think you can kind of see that, he's very open, very transparent. This is how we do things. This is what's out there. I mean, I was just playing with the subgraph earlier today and just building a website, which again, I'll drop that in the description if it helps anybody. But I think it's just really kind of a visionary, holistic view and forward thinking to put something out there that players who really enjoy and grasp the game want to continue to build on to make the game better, make the community better. So I can appreciate that. So again, please take a look at this and read through it because I think it will answer some questions about the game's origin and even help plant some seeds about what's to come and how to get into the game. One thing before I jump into the docs and just kind of break it down for a little bit, one thing I keep getting asked is where do I get realms? So this is available through a marketplace called Tofu. I don't really like going over this. I'm gonna try to stay away from it, but it's kind of the only way right now. And there is a video of me actually going through and buying one, so if you look at one of my other videos, it shows me getting one and then doing some things with it in the game. But basically, this is I hate to call it a black market, but it's just one I just never heard of until Realm, actually, ironically. But basically, Tofu NFT, we come to Realm, we make sure we get in the right realm. Also, as noted, you have to have Arbitrum. If you don't, I can throw a link down in the description of a little bit about Magic and Arbitrum. There is a bunch of realms out here right now. 89. Actually, that's not that many. So let's take a look and see what the floor is. Probably tells me up here somewhere 0.25. Yeah, pretty good. pretty good. So yeah, you get it from here, and basically just like OpenSea or any other marketplace, you switch to your network and you buy it, and then you own it, and then it shows up once you enter the game. So let's flip over there. So I'll make a micro video about some of the gameplay, navigating the dashboard and things, but I just wanted to dig through some of the docs because I know there's a bunch of people asking for a little bit of like where to look and what are some highlights here. So, and I'll throw a bunch of links into the description about some of the important things. So obviously the About section, very, very, very humbling. I think that honestly the Medium page gives a lot better content about the background and everything like that. You can click right here and get to that, so check that out again. But once you have owned the realm, a little bit about kind of the environment ecosystem. We know that every realm comes with 3 geographic features. That you can terraform one of these features once a year. Again, I did that in a previous video. There is not explicit rarity, but there is somewhat of inherent rarity of these features, and they do have somewhat of a impact in the game mechanics that it has been alluded to. On my data site, there is a little bit about, I tried to aggregate this into like what truly is rarity, so you can check that out as well. So there, sorry, one thing about this is this docs are definitely fluid in living, and so things change. One thing to call out that I know that gets, I'm going to call this one out. One thing that's really important that keeps getting asked in the Discord and the community is, can I change the name of my realm? Nope, you cannot. What the minting community that minted these got to choose what they were at the time of minting, and so we as realmers are stuck with those forever, and it will haunt us. Some of them will haunt us forever, but also makes the game kind of unique in that sense. Some of the one thing that I was chuckling at is that the value in part is determined by the community. So there was a early on last week there was a kind of a, I want to say, a community feel around the importance of having a volcano. I don't know if that has fallen off, but you'll see in the data that I pulled that volcano is not the most rare. So we'll see. We'll see if it even matters. But if there's any volcano holders out there watching, hit me up. I'd love to be part of your guild. Again, so I mean, the game is fluid. Things can change. Things that matter can change, I should say. And so I think it's important to just kind of read through, getting to know your realm and what you see when you launch the game. There is currently only one NFT out there. Well, technically one that you can buy off the marketplace that I showed you is the Realm NFT. That's what was minted. There's been discussions about this one coming out, which will be likely the candidate of travel, being able to navigate between realms, and also a battling aspect to the game. So I would start, with the things that are available. Getting to know your realm, the Realm NFT. We can read through this. The other two big pieces I want to pull out. So the basics. So we know that there is going to be a native token called Fun, and that will be important to the game. Not available yet, but it's good to understand that it is coming out, and that and that the team is talking with Magic, so there could be a play there with the tokenomics of the Magic ecosystem. Which, if you are unfamiliar with that ecosystem, I would definitely jump in and read those docs too. So the last thing I wanted to share was the gameplay as it exists today. So we're in season 1, and we can stake. We can stake our realm. That's the only NFT that we can really interact with, and that's the only thing that has utility. So we're staking our realms. We're in this period of time where we're building and collecting resource. So what that means is we have purchased our realm, we go to the game, and we choose to stake it. And as we're staking it, we're building. And this is kind of the concept, this abstract concept of proof of work, not to be confused with the actual proof of work in cryptocurrency, but proof of work, the proof of fruition. And so as we're staking this, we do get to choose what we're going to stake for, and over periods of time through these calculations, we are able to collect. So the 4 resources we can choose to stake for: gold, food, culture, technology, and each of those can produce collectibles. And here's a list of what those collectibles are for food, culture, and technology. And then gold is just gold. Now each of these have there's a 60% chance a collectible will drop during collection. Doesn't matter, depends on, that seems seemingly is randomized as to what you'll collect, and sure, those have utilities. So we'll take just a quick peek at the gold, because it is an interesting concept. So I'll take a look at all of them, but so there's a formula here for bonus amounts and for collectibles and but the gold is the interesting one. So I will get into this in a subsequent video, but I think it's really important to note that each of these has a different type of formula, and that as you stake and as you build structures, because you'll see that as you are collecting, right here we go. So as you are staking your buildings, you're also seeing structures develop, and as the structures develop, they can impact what you are staking for. So if we come back up to the formulas, you can see that if we're building cities, and then we're restaking for gold, it might make sense to, let's say, unstake and stake every so often, because as our cities are built, we can add those as a bonus to the amount of gold that we're producing as we're staking. So there's a little bit of that. So I would say that digging into that strategy in an upcoming video could be beneficial, but I would definitely look through this page. Again, I will drop this into the description. A little bit about how to navigate the UI. I can go into that as well. How to collect, change resource, and those types of things. But this is, not to use the term, not to confuse the term, but this is gold. Right here, this is what we're doing right now. And I would highly recommend reading through this very closely, because this develops a strategy. Now, as to what you are staking for and collecting and whatnot, I think that's kind of a decision you have to make on your own as to what that is. I don't know that there's a wrong answer, but I think in your head, and in your strategy, you have to kind of decide whether you're going to stick with one, or if you're going to try to sprawl out and try to gain many things versus just focus on one thing. And I think they all have benefits. And if you've ever played this type of game, like Civ, that sometimes there is benefit in just sticking with one thing and just progressing. But there's an end game in some of those games, right? There's some, in like Civ, having the most of one thing entices people to either partner with you or attack you for that one thing. So just some things to think about. I'll drop some of these in there, and I appreciate everybody sticking in, being patient, and again, like the video, subscribe. I'll put out more, and if you have any immediate questions, you'll find me in the Discord or check out my Twitter. Take care.